Actually, only about 1% of victims of trafficking that IOM has assisted, of the about 85, 90,000 people we've assisted, have been forcibly recruited. So recruited by kidnapping or other means of violence and force.
This is, I think, the worst myth. Every country I go to in Asia has this story of the white van, and the white van comes and takes the children. I have worked in Thailand for 9 years in anti-trafficking, specifically focusing on trafficking of children. I have never came across, out of hundreds of cases that I know of, been part of, worked on, I have never heard of a case where a child was kidnapped.
One of the common things we have seen from the victims was that the victims were trafficked through the false promises. At first, they were willing to work as in a job that the broker told them. But when they arrived in the destination, it was not as they expected.
We work a lot in Cambodia or Laos and Vietnam, and 90% of our cases are sold by relatives or rented. Last week we had a case, 5 children, all of them were rented out per month for a specific time period.
UN ACT did a research report in 2016 whereby we profiled victims of forced marriages between Cambodia and China. And what we saw was that a lot of the women actually were recruited by a family member or somebody close to the family to go into the forced marriage, or at least to go search for a employment opportunity in China. So in these cases, in none of these cases were women actually kidnapped.
The vast majority of people who are trafficked by deceptive means, which means that they are offered some opportunity, usually educational or employment opportunity abroad, and people take advantage of their trust to move them across a border, at which point they are exploited because of their foreign status and their disorientation. So that is an absolute myth. It's a very, very small number of people who are actually forcibly recruited or kidnapped.